Hey everybody, I'm starting a new series called The Road to Deadpool and Wolverine, where every week I'll be going back and making custom minifigures from the X-Men films in chronological order of release all the way up to Deadpool and Wolverine. Now, you'll take a look at the figures here and see that I have made some minor upgrades to some characters that have been in previous videos. So you definitely want to go back and watch the X-Men and X2 showcases just to get some more ideas for what you can use, because I've really tried to differentiate each showcase because I know not every person watching these videos has all the same pieces, so I really want to give you guys as many options as possible to help you build as many of these as you can. So with that being said, let's start breaking down the figures from X-Men The Last Stand. Alright, we'll start off with Cyclops, and man, it is so sad to see how they wasted Cyclops in these first three movies. Hopefully the MCU will do it right someday. But anyways, Cyclops here has these light blue legs for his jeans. The torso comes from Knight Rider from LEGO Dimensions or from one of the goons from Spider-Man Homecoming. The head comes from Hawkeye from 2012, and the hair is just some common hair, but ironically, it actually comes on Cyclops in the X-Men 97 X-Jet. I am super happy with the way the Jean Grey minifig turned out here, and it's actually relatively easy to build. And stick with me, it's relatively easy. The legs come from Star-Lord from Guardians of the Galaxy, with the dual molded feature having black on bottom and dark red on top. It's a relatively uncommon piece right now, being that it only came on one figure, but we are likely going to be getting it sooner than not in more sets, so, should become a little bit more common as time goes by. The torso comes from Scarlet Witch from the Endgame Final Battle, as does the skirt piece around her waist. That works pretty good. And the head and hair combo actually come from April O'Neil from the TMNT live action series of sets. So I think this turned out pretty good when it's all said and done. Alright, Logan is relatively easy to make because I went ahead and used the original Wolverine head and hair. The hair came on like the vampire characters back in the day, so it's pretty easy to get. But if you don't have either of those, you could use the more modern one from X-Men 97 or the the CMF series. Either way, I think that this look works the best for the movie. Then, of course, he's got the Wolverine claws, and the torso and legs come from the character Rinsler from the LEGO Tron Legacy Ideas set from several years back. So for Storm from this movie, I actually completely revamped the look from the previous videos just to give you more options to try and add her to your collection if you don't have that original Storm minifig. What I used here is the shaggy white hair, of course in the Marvel world that came on Quicksilver, but it's come in a lot of different places over the years. Pretty easy piece to source online. Then the short cape, which of course hugs the body pretty closely, and the torso with black legs, as well as the head, came from Reva from the Star Wars Obi-Wan Sith, I don't remember what that was called, the Inquisitor ship or something, but it came from Reva from Star Wars. Rogue is actually pretty similar to the previous version of Rogue, using the legs and torso from Black Widow, as well as the head from Black Widow, from the Avengers Tower set, with this really cool hair, which you guys can have a laugh with me now. I still can never remember the character's name. She's from Harry Potter, and I'm sure somebody's typing a comment right now reminding all of us where that hairpiece came from. At this point, might as well keep the meme going and never learn it. Alright, Professor X. I went back in time to my design from the very first X-Men movie, using the Old Man Han Solo head with the torso from Harry Osborn from 2004, although I think it's come in other places, and really you could just use any suit and tie torso for this. It's just the one I chose to use here. And of course, the LEGO wheelchair piece, which is still in sets to this day, so hopefully shouldn't be too hard to track down. I also completely revamped my Iceman design here to go ahead and give you more options. The legs, torso, and those very nice printed arms all come from the LEGO Tron Idea set, which I referenced earlier. The head comes from Hydro Man from Spider-Man Far From Home, and the hair is just some flat top blue hair. There's probably spiky blue hair out there that could work, but at the time of recording this video, this is the best option I have in my collection right now, so if you have a better idea, let me know in the comments. Alright, Kitty Pryde is up next, and compared to her fellow X-Men, she is pretty short in this movie, so I used mid-sized legs, especially when we put her next to somebody like Colossus here, to show the huge size difference between them. So I'll go ahead and set Colossus aside, we'll talk about him next, but for Kitty Pryde, she's got a First Order officer torso with those mid-sized legs, the head from Hermione from Harry Potter, and of course just a little, pigtail look there, ponytail. ponytail, not pigtail. I just swam with pigs while on vacation, so it's still on my mind, apparently. Then for Colossus, I used this head here, which is really common and has come in a lot of places, like the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, from the No Way Home set, and all kinds of stuff like that. It's a really common head with tan arms and the torso from Racer X from Speed Racer years and years ago. Now look guys, that set is very old. It only came in, I believe, one set if I'm not mistaken, and it's probably like more than 15 years old at this point. So I get that torso isn't easy to find, but with that big X across the torso, it's perfect for almost any X-Men. So that's what I used here, and then of course just some regular brown hair and 1x1 square studs for him to stand on to make him slightly taller than his other X-Men teammates. Next up is Beast, who was probably my favorite character in this movie, to be honest, and I think he's quickly becoming my favorite X-Men character. I just see a lot of similarities between he and I kind of talk philosophically like him if you ever hang out with me one-on-one, so Beast reminds me a lot of myself, and that's a cool guy to be like, so I like that. Anyways, to build Beast here, we've got the torso and legs from Simon Masrani from the Jurassic World line of sets. I believe that's where that came from. And then the head, hair, and hands come from Beast from the LEGO Marvel CMF Series 2. Magneto's up next, and in X-Men 97, I think Magneto might be my favorite character. I just think they've written him so well, and he's so compelling. That being said, in this movie, this movie isn't written very well, so there's not much to say. But the Magneto custom turned out pretty good. The cape is red on the inside and black on the outside, which comes from Jafar from the LEGO Disney CMF Series 2. Then, of course, we've got this head underneath. If I lift up the helmet, you can see that that's the head from Doctor Who from several years back. The helmet, of course, is the Magneto helmet from 2012 to 2014 or so. Then he's got black legs and the torso from a First Order officer. And to finish out the video, I didn't build every single member of the Brotherhood, but I built these two because I feel like these are probably the ones you would want for your, creative play scenes or whatever the case may be. For Pyro, went ahead and used basically the same design as last time with some dark brown legs, the orange power blast in his hands for the fire. The torso this time around is from Mutt from Indiana Jones with the Luke Skywalker head and some spiky hair. Then for Juggernaut, I used the torso from Mutant Leader as well as the legs from Mutant Leader from the LEGO Batman movie, with some 1x1 studs for him to stand on to make him slightly taller. The head is an angry clone head from years back, and of course that helmet came from one of the orc troll characters from Castle and Vikings years and years ago. Alright guys, let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. Be sure to hit like and subscribe, and things are going to go off the rails here pretty quick with X-Men Origins Wolverine and onward, so make sure you're subscribed and tuned into the channel so you don't miss any of that. And I'll see you guys on the next video.